You called about the noises in your walls, right?
Oh, no, 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 not me.
You sure about that?
Hey everybody, I just saw Sting probably about a week ago for an AMC Screen Unseen showing. And I gotta say, I have been sitting on this one for quite a while. It's just been humming in the back of my mind. But as I've been debating on whether or not to talk about this movie, Sting, I have had the most amount of just spider, encounters in the last week than I have in the last year combined. Just the other day, I was laying in bed, and you guys know that itch you feel, and you just gotta scratch at it. You think there's like a bug crawling on you, but you know there's nothing there. I had that same exact itch on my leg in bed. And so I'm like, I'm itching at the spot, and I'm like, it's not going away, and it's like, it's getting lower. It's like going down my leg. It felt so similar, but I had to check. I had to physically see what it was. So I pull up my blanket, and there is this like medium-sized wolf spider just crawling down my leg underneath my cover in my bed. And I wanted to burn my mattress, but I also didn't want to be out like $1,000. So we're keeping the mattress. So I took the spider outside, tossed him in the backyard. He can fend for himself, unless if he wants to pay rent, then I'll let him back in. But yeah, that was my biggest spider encounter, and just, you know, general appearances here and there across my apartment. I'm like looking around right now, and I gotta say, it's been kind of scary because I'm not a spider person, and this movie we're gonna talk about, Sting, is definitely a great movie for people who are terrified of spiders, because there's a lot of great imagery in this movie that is just downright scary. It is horrifying. This movie does have jump scares, of course, and if I had to describe this movie in any which one way, it would be definitely a B movie, but like a solid B movie. It was dumb fun, I enjoyed myself, and the plot, the premise, yeah, I can't say it was terrible. I mean, there were a few executions here and there that I just couldn't really get behind, such as the co-parenting techniques they used in this movie. Essentially, there's a family, and there's a stepdaughter, stepdad, and then the mother, and then they're also having their own kid as well together. A very multifaceted family. Is that a nuclear family? I totally forget what those terminologies are, but I grew up in a very similar family multiple times over, so analyzing this film was kind of a treat for me because I know how that works out. And in this movie, it does work out the way you see it play out. There's a lot of gripes with how fathers raise children, and if they start raising the mom's kid with the other parent, and they start like saying, oh, you gotta go into the corner. It's like, no, you can't parent my kid like that. And the whole confusion behind it, and it just really, it felt ill. It felt ill-intentioned to me because the mother character, she seemed genuinely sweet. She came off as very aggressive and unpopular to probably most of the audience that I sat with, whereas the father, he came across more of the heroic type. And don't get me wrong, he definitely was with his actions. He is this artist who does comics, I assume, maybe cartoons. The art created by this character, as well as his stepdaughter, because she is kind of following in his footsteps, she looks up to him. Despite all the controversy between those two, they make some pretty incredible art. I want to know who actually drew that art so I can look them up, because it's amazing detail, some amazing designs. And there's one where they actually draw someone riding atop of a spider. I wonder if that's foreshadowing anything later in this movie. It just looks so good. And there's some issues there between the stepfather and the stepdaughter, and they're just kind of like butting heads over to like which creative ideas are best for their certain endeavors. And that part of the movie I actually did enjoy. But going back to the whole how to parent your stepdaughter kind of situation, it's just, it feels kind of icky to me, which how they treat the father in the situation, because he is attempting to be a parent who is not in the picture. And they make it very clear that this man does not want to be incorporated into their family lifestyle. And so it's up to him to raise the daughter, to have a father figure, and every time he has to discipline her, which, yes, discipline is very much well needed in parental guidance. You kind of need it to learn the wrongs, the rights of the world as a child. You need to have that push towards a good morality, otherwise your child is gonna grow up spoiled. Just the whole family dynamic of this movie, it was both intriguing to me, but then again at times it was also, I was taken back by it, so I can't really outright say the movie took anything away in that regard. It was just kind of a mixed bag for me. And overall, this movie was definitely just a mixed bag. But in terms of looking at it through the lens of it being a B movie, it's just a lot of dumb fun, a lot of fun horror. And there are some choices in this film that come across as too goofy, but then again, you have to look at it through the lens of it being a B movie, and it adds to the charm, it adds to the quality. If you go into this movie not looking for anything too realistic, too art house, you're gonna walk out of this movie having a fun time with just some dumb horror incorporated into the story, some neat visuals, and overall a very interesting premise about a spider from space growing in this lower income family's apartment unit. It all kind of hits home. But yeah, no, the movie was a good time. But again, if you go into this movie expecting something a little bit more darker, a little bit more edgier, more nuance, you're not gonna get that here. This movie is very just, again, it's stupid fun, kind of like the new Godzilla x Kong movie. Haven't seen that myself, but as somebody who is more of a character-driven movie enjoyer, this movie, it has elements of that, but it doesn't fully inflate those ideals that you're kind of looking for in terms of a character-driven story. It touches on them, but it never really rounds it out the way that I would prefer it to. As somebody who has some deep-seated arachnophobia, I found this movie to be quite interesting, to be a little scary at times. Thank you so much for watching my movie review on the film Sting. Let me know what you guys thought about this film down below in the comments. Actually, the movie's not even out yet, is it? No, it's not. But yeah, if you guys end up watching it, come back to this video, let me know. Or are you guys interested in watching this movie at all? Again, let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more movie reviews and other content. I'm planning on diversifying the channel a little bit more. Don't know exactly where we're landing yet, but I feel like we need to do something to evolve the channel, to become a little bit bigger, a little bit more, to reach my goals in my YouTube journey. So we're kind of playing around with a few things. I'll let you guys know where that lands essentially soon. Speaking on updates, I do have a quick small update for my movie. I came up with a premise, wrote down an outline, and I should be working on the script relatively soon. It takes a long time to come up with just a good idea, and I have been experiencing and learning so much about how people perceive life, and it's been changing my whole worldview on how I see things, and ultimately it has affected how I'm viewing this upcoming movie and how it's going to be made, but I'm still very excited to be working on it. I hope to showcase it sometime next year, probably. I don't know how long it's going to take to actually produce this thing. As an independent solo filmmaker, it's going to be a journey. But yeah, otherwise, thank you again for watching this review of Sting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.